So back to the 1904 bookshelf tour. One of my favorites, sort of to me epitomizes the whole point of 1904 of it all, was Lady Desborough, Etty. This is a wonderful biography of her. She was sort of the last of the great, she was the last of the great Whig hostesses. She is next to Georgiana, Duchess of Devonshire, you remember from Keira Knightley, because, well, Keira Knightley played the part. They had what was called a Devonshire drawl. It was a way of talking. I don't know if we have political language now, but they did then. It was a whole, they stuttered. It was Coufy. It was Golden, not Golden. Anyway, Etty was the last living person to have actually spoken this. Sir Oswald Mosley, speaking of, and he was married to a Mitford, he said she was the most pretentious woman he'd ever met in his life, which was saying something. But she was a great Edwardian hostess. And tragically, her son, Julian Grenfell, and his brother, they both her sons died in the war. Nicholas Mosley Sir Oswald's son, ended up marrying her granddaughter. He came to the house, and it's a wonderful story. She had inherited, she was a Cooper. The Earls Cooper were on her mother's side. She was related to everybody. And she'd inherited this great house, and we'll have to do my extensive postcard collection of great stately homes of England anyway. Etty was sort of, here. One. This is from the Panzinger, the Earl Cooper's copy of Caprice Romanesque. It's not a terribly interesting book. But it's from with the Panzinger, she called it Pans. And also Brocket Hall, which was another Earl Cooper house. Etty died in 1952. They auctioned off I'll show you, they auctioned off this collection, the Cooper collection from Panzinger in 1953, made nothing. One of the Raphaels is now in the National Gallery in Washington. The other Cooper house was Rest Park. She was related to the Earl de Grey, and Rest Park was another house she was loved. This is actually Hugh Trevor Roper, the historian, his copy, which he gave to Logan Pearsall Smith. There's a recent book about him, beautifully rebacked. The memoirs of the Monsieur de Coulanges, who was a cousin of Madame Sévigné. And then we have a Sitwell. You always have to have a Sitwell in your collection, otherwise you'll have bad luck. The Decline and Fall of the British Aristocracy, very important, indispensable text on what 1904 is all about. This is wonderful. They use this for Downton Abbey. It's a story of a footman. He was footman to the Duke of Portland. And he went into service when he was about 13 in various houses. But Frederick John Gorst, a must-have in terms of the upstairs, downstairs life. Francis Partridge, Bloomsbury, as I was talking about before, there's Lytton. The Rothschilds, just because, again, you like to have things mixed up. Lord Berners. Here are all of Nancy's books, and you have to have this one. This is fantastic. This has not been out of print. Whigs on the Green. Nancy's humorous look at her sister's marriage to Sir Oswald Mosley, who founder of the British fascist movement. Did not well received in the family, and her sister Unity fell in love with Hitler. It was a complicated time. Caroline Blackwood. We have to have her down here with the other Mitfords. Joan Wyndham. Joan Wyndham, I showed you the book on clouds. Joan was a Wyndham. Her father was Dick Wyndham, who died covering the Israeli-Arab conflict in 1948. He was the one that blew up parts of Clouds, which is now a rehab. Barbara Skelton, who just slept with everybody. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. And Cynthia Asquith. Cynthia was the daughter of Mary, one of the three beautiful daughters of the Wyndham girls did you have it there? Yeah. Remember and Be Glad. I mean, is that a gay title or what? She married Asquith. Great. This is one of the great. Grace and Favor. Grace and Favor is this memoirs of Louisa, Duchess of Westminster. The Duke of Westminster was really a pretty horrible man, to be truthful, but one of the wealthiest men in England. And then, because we have fashion, we have to have Nikki Haslam's book, Redeeming Features. And in the back, let's see. Oh, I'll pull it down. Then we have, did I show you Elsa? Elsa Schiaparelli's Shocking Life. Fantastic. You see, there's an association. Glass of Fashion by Cecil Beaton leads us back to, getting up here. Oh, here, the Duke of, and we'll do the Duke. We'll do the Duke, the 6th Duke of Portland, his memoirs, Men, Women, and Things. Now, is that the name of a book? Wouldn't you love to call your memoirs Men, Women, and Things? Not necessarily in that order. The Duchess of Portland was beautiful. His sister, half-sister, this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful memoir. The 5th Duke was quite mad, and he inherited, well, I'll tell you about the Duke of Portland next installment. Oh, Duchess of Devonshire's ball.